Hey everyone, Rho here. Today we have just got to talk about the avalanche of recent reveals. So let's not waste any more time, and with that said, let's just jump straight in. Now, the Adepta Sororitas Combat Patrol has long been awaited since the release of the Codex. And I've got to be honest, I had completely forgotten about it. So when I saw this announcement, I was extremely happy to say the least. The Sisters have long been on my wish list to start a force. I just love those little unique poses, the flamer with a foot up on the smoking husk, the Sister Superior with a chainsword. It's nice to be able to get my hands on these models after I missed out on the original run. I'm also pleasantly surprised with the addition of the Rhino to the force. There's just something about those old school rhinos that will live in my heart forever. I like the new impulsors, I've got a couple already in my collection. There's just something to be said for the nostalgia factor that comes with the rhinos. So let's see, overall 26 miniatures, a Canoness, the Rhino of course, Penitent Engine, 3 Flagellants, 4 Sisters Repentia, a Repentia Superior, 5 Seraphim and 10 Battle Sisters. That's a pretty good starting force to me, especially with the discount we're going to get on the patrol. So this is definitely going on my wish list, that's for sure. However, on to some bigger news. And no, I'm not talking dragons yet, but the Hexfire Battle Box. We've had it teased, and we've received a glimpse of the new character models, but here she is in all her beauty. Castellan Crow taking on the Thousand Suns. And just look at these models. The sculpts we are getting these days are just absolutely breathtaking. The way they encapsulate the movement in the models now really adds to the feel. The turning of the hips, the cloak billowing behind, and the flames leaping from the blade. Just absolutely breathtaking. And that's not even starting on the Infernal Master. It's exactly the same aesthetic here. The flames rising off the back, the rising hand and swirl of sorcerous power, the demons coming forth from the currents. Just a round of applause for these guys. These are some of the best character models yet to me. Well, at least in normal scale at least. Now, as for the actual box set itself, what does it say? We're getting a 40-page campaign book, all the usual data sheets, and a specific set of Crusade campaign rules, traits and relics for Hex and Fast. But the main event, the models themselves. So what do we get? For the Grey Knights, Castellan Crow obviously, 2 5-man squads of Grey Knights, and a Nemesis Dread Knight suit. For the Thousand Suns, an Infernal Master, 5 Terminators, 10 Zangors, and a Shaman. It's always the way, isn't it? You're trying to work your way through the mountain of unopened boxes you've got. The units you've been buying for ages, just stacking on top of each other, and then bam, there's an amazing new set on the horizon. I've literally just had to put a storage box up in the loft. I've got so much to get through. Not mentioning all the Sylvaneth I've just recently purchased. But oh man, I really do like the look of this one. I've passed on a few of the last box sets just due to money reasons and the storage situation. Obviously, we can't all buy every box that we want, but in not having either of these forces, I'm not gonna lie, it is really calling to me. Despite being a Space Wolf guy, I've always wanted a little force of Thousand Suns, and we all know how much I fell in love with the Grey Knights after reading The Emperor's Gift by ADB. So with that new Castellan Crow model, I could get this and have a nice little force of both factions, scratching that Thousand Suns and Grey Knights itch all in one. I'm guessing this one is going to be a very popular box set, but I can't lie, I'm definitely going to be on that list too. I must get this one. Now, as excited as I am for that battle box set, That's not the only thing that blew my socks off this week. And here be dragons. Isn't it just typical? You decide your army, in my case the Sylvaneth, and then bam, these absolutely awesome dragons drop. I mean, by Sigmar himself, how on earth does Age of Sigmar just keep going from strength to strength? It just keeps getting better and better with these models. I mean, let's just think about it for the moment. We've had Be'lakor, we've had Lord Croak, the new Stormcasts, and the new Kruleboyz, and let's not forget Kragnos, and now bang, the Draconith. Krondys, son of Dracothian, leader of what's left of his race, and absolutely styling and profiling. There's just something about dragons, am I right guys? For all the amazing races within fantasy worlds, there's just something that little extra bit magical about dragons. Something that no matter what the other race may bring to the table, it just can't quite match up with an old school dragon. I'm almost speechless looking at these guys. Krondys clearly showcasing his alliance with Sigmar, bearing the regalia Fulmentaris, which apparently enhances his magical abilities, and he's definitely got that regal look about him, doesn't he? I don't know if it's those armor pieces or the upright pose, or maybe even that almost humane facial features we've got going on his head. He's definitely got that statesman or diplomat quality about him. I'm very curious to know if he has any head swaps or customizable parts coming along too. However, for all the nobleness of Krondys, it's the unbridled savagery of Karazai the Scarred that takes the cake for me. This guy may just be my favourite new model of the year. Yes, I went there guys. Croak and Be'lakor were something to behold, and there's probably a bunch I've already forgotten about. But quite literally, this guy is just all kinds of awesome. Like I said, I just have an affinity for dragons of old. And this is a dragon you don't want rocking up to your local neighbourhood Orruk party. I am a big fan of this. Now it does say he's been wreaking vengeance within the realm of beasts, and that he's been there so long he's become bitter and violent. So I think we can expect a bit of an edge to his personality, and that's certainly visible in the sculpt that we can see. The menacing vibe of the pose, the scars riddled down his side. Karazai is definitely more my cup of tea, and I would love to see him painted up in a Realm of Life vibe. Seeing how maybe he could blend in with my Sylvaneth army to be. Or even better yet, more Draconith from other realms. A true Realm of Life dragon emerged from the lush forests of the world. Maybe even a few elements harkening back to the great Wood Elf Forest Dragon of Old model. Man, I'd love to see that. With this introduction of Draconith, how about harkening over to the Realm of Death, or even the Realm of Metal? Their characters just subtly twisted to embellish those realms they represent. Coming from the Grand Alliance Order, it is definitely something we could see. Like I said, I am really interested in this new faction. I know it states they've got the alliance with the Stormcast Eternals, but that doesn't mean we could see further embellishments and developments to the faction. The Stormcast, as we know, are widely spread across pretty much every realm, so the Draconith could absolutely follow in that suit. I mean, we've already got an example of that before our very eyes with Karazai. Age of Sigmar is definitely knocking it out of the park with this new edition so far. I'm really quite excited that I've taken the dive and beginning my journey into it. I may not be buying the Draconith straight away simply because I've started the Sylvaneth army, but definitely count me in as a fan of this new faction. or at least sub-faction for the time being. I guess we'll see where it goes. However, like I said, I think I'm definitely going to be trying to get my hands on the Hexfire box set to begin with the Sisters of Battle Combat Patrol and the Draconith going on the wish list. But as always guys, what do you think? What's your opinions of the new Combat Patrol? Does it give you a chance to get your hands on those models you missed out from of the original limited edition box set? Are you going to be trying to get your hands on the 40k battle box? Or is it with the new released Draconith that your loyalty is lying? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off and I'll see you all again real soon.